Now, class of COVID-19 has disrupted our lifestyles in a manner that we may never return to in the same type of way. But this evening we have the chance to speak to one of the founders of the Wadada movement lifestyle brand, better known as the Wadada twins. Now, we had Asha, but because of timing issues, she's not able to make the conversation. But bigger sister Ayana is holding along the fort. So we thank you for your presence. How are you doing at this point in time?
I'm good. Nice to see you again. Thanks for having me. I would say us, if I represent my sister as well.
Definitely, and I see you also representing for Buzz Rock. So you have me actually humming some Buzz Rock in my mind as well.
Always.
But I want to start off though and ask Ayana, how much of what you do is divine intervention? How much is luck? How much is design? Because sometimes it just seems to flow so much.
I'm going to put 100% to just being blessed. Asha and I got an idea since 10 years ago, and we've just been blessed enough to be able to continue pushing forward the idea that we have that has now created the Wadada lifestyle.
And 10 years to now is nothing to sneeze at, is nothing to sniff at. Do you consider yourself trailblazers? Because you're looking at the fact that you said it started in 2010 because of a need. But moving forward, is sometimes you see things wither on the vine. You see people don't necessarily make it to a full decade, double digits. So you consider yourself trailblazers or possibly even inspiration to others?
If I be as humble as I can, no, I would not. But in a sense, we have been labeled trailblazers and trendsetters. I think a lot of people look to us for inspiration as a female, especially as a natural female, and doing what we do in the society that we live. So if you wanted to class that as a trailblazer, I'm all for it.
No, and I want to get back into that a little bit now, but how important is it that you have each other in terms of you, the Wadada twins, having each other on this journey moving forward?
If there wasn't two of us, there would not be Wadada. If one decides to drop out now, Wadada is done.
And Wadada means love in Amharic. So what is the movement about? In terms of like when somebody say, well, you know them, Wadada and the Wadada movement, what is that movement about?
Okay, so Wadada movement, we basically started a clothing line years ago for people who were not able to find pieces for themselves in the stores. Asha and myself were very skinny and very tall. So for us to find pieces that fit us perfectly, it was a rare thing. So we created that movement, that clothing line, so females like us could have pieces to wear and make themselves feel conservatively sexy.
And I like the fact that you say that you're able to move it. It is one thing to say, okay, it would be a good idea if we were able to find some of these things that fit us, but what moves that it would be a good idea to actually saying, okay, well, this is being done, to be able to look back at yourself and your work 10 years down the road?
Well, really and truly, if I give you the real nitty of it, it's our hair. I started growing my hair first, and in the time that I started growing my hair, women weren't accepted to have hair as big as mine, even locks. Back then, 10, almost 15 years ago, we weren't getting the jobs in the banks and the insurance agencies with a ras or a dread on your head. So that put us in a place where we needed to show people that Rasta could do things too, especially as a female in Rastafari. We needed to be able to stand up and show that it's not just a smoking weed lifestyle. It's something that we have built for ourselves that inspires others, inspire ourselves at the best. So really it's just based on the whole idea of love, of loving yourself, loving who you are, and loving what you do.
And looking at the fact that you've actually based your brand around the word love and have it as a founding principle. What are some of the other things in terms of challenges that you would have had into like maintaining your vision while at the same time wanting to include others on the journey?
Our biggest challenge, being in Trinidad especially, it would be the availability of the raw products, like fabrics and that kind of stuff. We've spent years trying to find pieces that are unique, trying to curate clothing that nobody else can do in Trinidad. And being in an island where the whole Caribbean comes here to shop, being a unique designer in Trinidad is very, very hard. Very, very hard. So we just had to build a little niche around who we are and the lifestyle that we live so that our brand could now take form of a lifestyle rather than just clothes. And that was our biggest challenge.
And if that lifestyle were to describe itself, what are some of the things it would say?
Bohemian, natural, free-spirited.
And that brings me to the question though. 2020, interesting to put it mildly.
Interesting, yeah.
But that has also encouraged you to make some changes. So what are some of those changes? Because I see new names coming up and new things.
Okay, so for Wadada movement, it's the clothing line. We've always been, the items you can get from us have always been like one-off pieces that you will wear to a big event or to a nice concert or something that's once in a while. So what we have created in 2020, because of the pandemic, because there's no events, more people just stay home and look good on Instagram. We created a basic line, which is a stay home, just run errands, and it's actually much more affordable for the economy now as it would have been before. It's at a price point where even if COVID hits you financially, you can still purchase a piece and still feel conservatively sexy, even if you have to stay home or just go to the grocery.
And some of those pieces that I've seen in terms of looking at them on the website that I want to talk about in a little bit, but on the other side of the break. But there are also things that you can even like put a jacket over or just accentuate certain ways, and you're in the middle of the Zoom meeting, the Zoom conversation, or as you said, if you want to go to the supermarket. Was there a lot of like thought trying to make it that in the cup and in that lane?
That was the intention. It was the intention for it to be very casual, yet pieces that you can still dress up. Everything we have here can put a jacket over and a nice chain, and then you can go to a party. Or you can take off your jacket, put on a slippers, and go to the grocery. Or you can just stay home and have friends over. So it's very, very versatile. That was our biggest point in this collection, being something very versatile and affordable. And the quality is perfect as well for us.
And that brings me to the question of whether or not we would have had to change or radically change the materials that we were using with as well. Because the name of the line is Wadada Basics, but I'm wondering what kind of other factors would have gone in. Have you changed materials?
We've actually changed an entire production house for that line. That is actually done outside of Trinidad for us. So that way we actually were able to have a wider range in fabrics available and the colors available in what we wanted. That again, like you said, Trinidad's limitation is on fabric. So there's not much we can do when it comes to what we have available. So that's where the basics really gave us opportunity to just do anything we wanted.
And I'm trying to imagine the look on your face, because you said you don't necessarily like to wear or to use the same fabric that would be available to everybody. So you're moving from one place to the other, and you see a group of people in face masks that you just use to make some of your pieces. What kind of expression you'd have?
Correct. Even our first collection, that's what happened to us. We came out with these beautiful African print skirts, and then maybe like 7 months, another designer was doing dresses in the same fabric. I don't think it was purpose, but it's just so small of an industry here that it was bound to happen. And first year that gave us a reality check very quickly.
All right, and we will continue this conversation when we return. We're speaking with Ayana Diaz, Ayana Wadada. Have your pick of the Wadada movement. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are lucky to be joined by Ayana Wadada of the Wadada movement. I'm wondering though, because we started speaking about it a little bit, Ayana, where do people find you? And I know there is a brick and mortar and a website. So give me information for both, please.
Okay, so the website was created a few years ago. So we have wadadamovement.com. Very simple. And our brick and mortar now is based on St. Vincent Street, 103 St. Vincent Street, which is Upper St. Vincent Street before Oxford. We have a couple other designers here with us at the brick and mortar. We have another shop that does indoor growing, nutrition and that kind of stuff. So it's a whole lifestyle here at the brick and mortar, not just Wadada.
And that makes me ask the question, what are some of the things that you get there? Is it that you're able to sit or you just need to browse and shop and go? So information for someone who's thinking about getting to Upper St. Vincent Street to check you all out.
Okay, so for right now, you can come and you can browse. We have a good number of items that you can check whether you want to come with your boyfriend. While you shop female, he can shop plants. Just a whole different stuff. We also have a couple events that we do here every couple months. We have a whole heap of new stuff starting in February. We have a kitchen that's open up every day of the week except Sunday as well, from 11 to 6. So, I mean, we have stuff that's pumping through the store itself. And just over the months, there's a whole heap of events that's just going to be curated and just bringing a vibe to the place. There's no big set of parties or anything. So right now, we're trying to monopolize or monetize the fact that we have a space that we're allowed to have a few people in to enjoy an experience.
And I like the fact that you speak about monetizing. So monetizing ladies of 420. You say this is about
Yes.
2 years ago now, but take me through that process because I think it started from just education.
Yeah, Ladies of 420 is almost like a sub-brand of Wadada Movement. We created that brand to educate the public on cannabis. We are both very much advocates of cannabis and very excited that Trinidad laws have changed, so we can now be more open with what we know, our education, with our experiences. Ash and I have both lived outside of Trinidad for very long, and being exposed to the cannabis industry outside of the Caribbean, we can see the money in it. We see how much value it has in it as medicinal, as recreation, even as body care and skincare. So for the last couple of months, Ash and I have been creating a body care line, which now is a CBD-infused body care line. Because the entire world is not cannabis friendly yet, we've had to keep it only CBD so that we'll be able to on the international market. So there's CBD lotion and CBD soap. Hopefully by mid-2021, we can have CBD gummies and CBD face serum.
And what, in terms of the infusion, that the CBD, in terms of the lotion and the soap, what are some of the things? Is my skin going to grow brighter? Am I going to be able to leap buildings in a single bound? What are some of the benefits to using products like this?
The benefits of CBD on a whole is, so let's think of it like a lock and key. CBD is the key and our body is the lock. Once connected, it opens I call it a magical healing. I'm not a doctor, so I can't give you the exact breakdown, but the endocannabinoids in our system works with the cannabinoids in the cannabis and in CBD, and it helps to bring a natural healing. So if your skin is dry, it'll moisturize it. If you are suffering from psoriasis, it will help bring ease or anti-inflammation to the skin as well. So there's a lot more properties. I don't want to push it as a medical CBD lotion or medical CBD soap. What we tell people is a perfect addition to a holistic body routine.
And I like the way that you say that because that encapsulates a great deal. And I'm upset that I cannot remember the name of the program because on YouTube I saw there was an initiative that was done by Janine and Dr. Kadamawe Knife.
Yes.
I cannot remember it, but hopefully if people are so inclined, they will look for it and see some of those things.
Yes,
Pardon me?
It was Note to Self. I believe it was a wellness kind of challenge that she created after she dropped her last album.
Yeah, but as one of the things was also speaking about different things about CBD, and this is with or without the THC element of it, and looking at the industry purposes as well as the psychoactive parts of it. But that leads me though, because you talk about lock and key, and it makes me want to ask about partnerships. who are some of the people that you partner with? Because you laid out the fact that there are other things that can be possible if you have one person browsing and one other person goes with them. They can buy plants, there's a food place. In terms of partnership and moving forward, who are some of the people that you've worked with in the past? And what is it that you look for when you're going to work with someone?
Really and truly, a lot of people we've worked with have been people who are like us, entrepreneurs who need an extra push or just need somebody to help them just say, look, we use this, I vouch for it. Partnership-wise, I mean, Ash and I have done a lot on our own. We have a lot going on, so we kind of try to bring all our stuff together. Recently, we have, well, because of the pandemic, a lot of things have been cancelled last year, but we've had a lot of, when I say, let's say plans or scheduled plans that we were supposed to do a lot of panel talks on cannabis. We were supposed to do some panel talks on hair and lifestyle kind of issues as well. So with any partnership at this point in time, nothing is solidified, but we're working towards 2021 being the year of collabs and just doing what we have to do to push ourselves out there and help others along while we're at it.
So we have about 2 more minutes, Ayana. So that makes me want to ask 2 questions, about a minute each, I guess. How does it feel now to be an activist and say, okay, well, people are finally coming along to experiencing, to legislating, to moving policy towards something that you've basically kind of intuitively known for a while? And also, how does the website work in terms of purchases? Is it delivery, or how does that take place?
Okay, so let me touch your website part first. That's an easier question. Everything is delivered. If you live in Trinidad, you can pay with your credit card and we can deliver it for you, or you can come and collect it here in brick and mortar. Everything international is shipped via DHL. We ship worldwide.
Okay.
With the new legislation and everything that's going on within the cannabis industry, I'm excited to see what happens. I don't think we're there yet when it comes to the government fully doing what it needs to do to put cannabis platform on a level for people like myself and other entrepreneurs to make a living off of it. Selling cannabis is still illegal, selling plants is illegal. So for us to take a legal aspect of it, there's a lot of behind the scenes. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the education behind cannabis is what makes us having to stay within the, what to explain it? Kind of hard to explain. I have my views on the whole cannabis industry. I'm just excited that something is happening. We need to have a little more structure. We need to have the smaller people have more influence on what happens, because we really want to make the cannabis industry what it is in Trinidad, whether we want to acknowledge that we have an industry here or not.
I get it. And in terms of like ideas of equality, and then you'll also have conversations of restorative justice. But I remember the name of it. It is For the Love of Kush. This is by Janai. It's curated by Janai.
For the Love of Kush, yes.
Yes. So, but we want to thank you very much for stepping up and representing both sisters, Ayana Wadada, Ayana Diaz. And we want to thank you. It was our pleasure having you. And on behalf of the entire news team, I'm DK Ronstadt. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.